Of an early morning, the world seemed quiet, yet Elias felt a restless stirring within his spirit. For years, he had sensed there was something unusual about his life. Friends had often told him he was different, though they could never explain why. Deep down, Elias knew he carried a weight others did not. He could not shake the thought that he had been set apart for a reason beyond his own understanding. That morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched the horizon, Elias felt a whisper in his heart. Many are called, but few are chosen. It was as if the words were not merely spoken, but etched into his very being. He realized that his path would not be like everyone else's. He was being called to live as a chosen one, and with that calling came both privilege and danger. But Elias was not without guidance. Through dreams, signs, and quiet revelations, he began to uncover 10 secrets meant to protect him on this sacred journey. Each secret was like a key, unlocking wisdom that helped him guard his spirit while walking the path of destiny. Secret 1. Protect your spiritual insights. Elias soon noticed that the visions and insights he received were not always welcomed by others. When he spoke of them too freely, people mocked him or twisted his words. He remembered the teaching: pearls must not be cast before swine, lest they be trampled and destroyed. Slowly, Elias learned to treasure his revelations like hidden jewels. They were gifts from the divine, not for careless display, but for the right moment and the right hearts. Secret 2. Keep your vulnerabilities hidden. Even as one chosen, Elias was still human. He knew fear, exhaustion, and doubt. At first, he shared these feelings openly, hoping for compassion. Instead, he found some people used his weakness against him. His pain became gossip, his struggles fuel for attack. It was then he understood that not every heart was safe. Just as Jesus chose only his closest companions in Gethsemane, Elias learned to guard his inner wounds, sharing them only with the few who had proven worthy. Secret 3. Guard your energy, like a sacred flame. Wherever Elias went, people seemed drawn to him. Some approached with genuine need, but others came only to consume his strength. Their constant demands left him drained. He realized his energy was like a sacred flame, and if he allowed too many to take from it, the fire would dim. He practiced the art of saying no, not from selfishness, but from wisdom. His energy was the fuel for his mission, and without it, he could not continue. Secret 4. Keep your presence sacred. Elias noticed how rooms seemed to shift when he entered, how conversations paused when he spoke. His very presence carried weight, and some were unsettled by it. A mentor once told him, "Not every place deserves your presence, not every person can handle your light." He took those words to heart. He began choosing carefully where he went and with whom he spent his time. Solitude became a sanctuary for him, a place to renew his spirit and protect the sacredness of his being. Secret 5. The power of silence. In a noisy world, Elias discovered the quiet strength of silence. He learned that he did not need to answer every provocation, nor defend himself against every critic. When others mocked or questioned him, he often remained silent, preserving his peace. Silence became his shield. Yet he also knew that there were moments to speak, when truth had to be declared. Discernment taught him the difference, and in silence he heard the whispers of the divine more clearly. Secret 6. The art of discretion. There was a time when Elias shared too much. His plans, his struggles, even his victories. He learned quickly that such openness invited interference, jealousy, and attack. His journey was like a young seedling, needing protection until its roots grew deep. So Elias embraced discretion. He moved quietly, allowing his actions and progress to speak for themselves. In relationships, too, he kept sacred what was private, understanding that not every bond was meant for public display. Secret 7. Master your emotions. Anger, sorrow, and fear still rose within Elias. At first, these emotions ruled him, clouding his judgment and distracting him from his path. But he came to see that emotions were not enemies. They were signals, tools to be mastered. Instead of letting anger consume him, he channeled it into righteous determination. Sorrow deepened his compassion, and joy became a source of light for others. By mastering his emotions, Elias gained strength to face battles without losing himself to chaos. Secret 8. Maintain balance in all things. Elias walked between two worlds, the spiritual and the physical. Without balance, he felt himself pulled apart. So he made his spiritual practices a daily priority, grounding himself through prayer and meditation. He cared for his body through rest, food, and movement. He balanced solitude with connection, giving to others yet also withdrawing to recharge. He learned that balance was not luxury but survival. Without it, even the strongest chosen one could fall. Secret 9. Protect your spirit from negative energies. As his sensitivity grew, Elias felt the weight of unseen forces. Some days, he carried confusion and fear that did not seem to come from within. He recognized these as spiritual attacks, attempts to pull him off his path. To resist, he fortified himself with prayer and surrounded his heart with light. He cleansed his spirit regularly, releasing negativity through rituals of renewal. Each time he felt the heaviness lift, he remembered that the divine was his ultimate shield. Secret 10. Maintain an unshakable connection to the divine. Above all, Elias knew this final truth. Without his connection to the divine, none of the other secrets would hold. His prayers became his lifeline, his moments of stillness, the well from which he drew strength. He practiced not only speaking, but also listening, attuning himself to the subtle voice of guidance. Even when the path seemed unclear, he surrendered his fears and trusted the divine plan. Faith became his anchor, steadying him through every storm. The fulfillment of the journey. Years later, Elias looked back and saw how each secret had preserved him. His mission had not been easy, yet he was still standing, still carrying light. He realized that being chosen did not mean living without trials. It meant walking through them with wisdom, protection, and faith. Elias had once believed he was alone, but now he knew otherwise. The divine had guided him every step, placing these secrets in his hands as both shield and sword. With them, he was prepared for the battles ahead, confident that his journey was part of something far greater than himself. And so he continued. A chosen one carrying light in a world often covered in shadow. Guarded, guided, and never abandoned.